Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler review series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how this might be a new. I don't understand if this is a new product or not. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I am inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for today, folks? Well, that happens to be my Don the Dragon Wilson tradition shirt. Yay, Don the Dragon Wilson. But who is Don the Dragon Wilson? What is traditions? If you're unfamiliar, maybe you're not like me where you're obsessed with martial arts movies from the late 80s to early 90s. Well, and just in general, but I definitely like that era quite a bit. Don the Dragon Wilson is one of the most famous kickboxers of all time. He actually holds the Guinness World Record for the most kickboxing titles. He had 11, which is fucking insane. Top class athlete, top class, fighter. Guy was incredible, man. Basically throughout kind of the late 80s into the 90s, and I think even into the early 2000s, the guy was just, I won't say he was unstoppable. He lost, here and there, but his record is ridiculous. The guy's incredible. And while he was doing all that, he also went over there and did a bunch of movies, too, which is where I became familiar with him. The Blood Fist series is probably his best known, but I'm a big fan of Don the Dragon Wilson. And yes, you have to say Don the Dragon Wilson, yes, every single time. And Traditions is actually a clothing line that he is associated with, and it's how I got this neato design. But anyway, yeah, what are we doing here? What am I trying for you now, folks? Why am I confused as to whether or not this is a product or not? Well, it's definitely a product, whether it's a new product. Well, that's because, folks, it happens to be, boom! It's Mountain Dew Game Fuel Citrus Blackberry. All right. Okay. Here's why this confuses me. Two reasons, actually. One, there is already a blackberry flavored Mountain Dew. It is called Blackberry Legend. It is exclusive to Buffalo Wild Wings locations. I've reviewed it. You can watch that review if you're interested. Here's the other thing. They had a Mountain Dew Purple Game Fuel flavor that came out in 2023 called Mystic Punch. This is purple and it's Game Fuel. I don't know what the hell this is. And then to make it even more confusing, boom, they have Game Fuel Citrus Cherry, which also, didn't come out in 2023, but it was alongside this one. But this one is still out again, and this one, I guess, replaced the Mystic Punch? I don't know. We're going to find out together. Yes. So let's get a thing for the thing again, maybe. Something like that. And we'll kind of Mountain Dew. I hope this is basically just Mountain Dew Legend, because I really like Mountain Dew Legend. But I would imagine they would have just called it that. It does smell somewhat familiar. All right. Ooh. That is similar. That definitely gets my taste buds memories flaring up. That is similar to the Mountain Dew Legend from Buffalo Wild Wings. However, I don't think it's exactly the same. I don't think it's like a one-for-one. It's hard to say, of course, because the Mountain Dew Legend at Buffalo Wild Wings is only available in a fountain drink format. So the flavor is going to be somewhat different than, the ones that they go over there and put inside of the actual bottles. So here's the interesting thing about that, though, for me anyway. Typically, I would think that what with it being the one that's in the bottle, it would have a stronger flavor. But if anything, I kind of feel like the Mountain Dew Legend, to be fair, I'm going off of memory, I kind of feel like the Mountain Dew Legend is really the one that's the most flavorful out of the two. I just feel like it had more bite to it, kind of emphasize that little bit of tanginess that you get from the blackberry flavor. This is still nice though, but I don't know. Typically, whenever I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, I get some Mountain Dew Legend. That is like my go-to drink there whenever I get an order. And I always really like it. Like, it's genuinely one of my favorite Mountain Dew flavors. So, the fact that I'm not getting quite the same level of excitement from this as I do from that, I don't know, maybe that's just a mental thing, or maybe it is just, this is good and it's similar, but it's not quite as oomphy as I would like with the Legend. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video. Maybe I'll go to Buffalo Wild Wings and do a comparison. We'll see. All right, well, I do like it. It's a nice flavor of Mountain Dew. It's obviously sweet. It has a nice, identifiable blackberry flavor to it, which I feel is important if, you're calling it citrus blackberry. It's also supposed to be blackberry raspberry, so maybe that's, which is kind of interesting in and of itself, because then I would figure it would have more tanginess than the Legend, because, raspberries tend to be a little bit tangy. But they also kind of, or am I thinking of cranberries that are kind of dry? I think cranberries. Because there is a little bit of a tanginess to it, but it's not, especially calling it citrus blackberry. I would have liked some proper tang. And I kind of feel like maybe this is like an extension of weariness for them from Mountain Dew Pitch Black, because famously, which Mountain Dew Pitch Black is my personal favorite flavor of Mountain Dew, but famously when Mountain Dew first came out, it was a sour grape flavor soda. But as time has gone by, they've changed up the formula and they, diminished the sour aspect, and now it's like a dark citrus berry or some shit. They don't even call it grape anymore. So I kind of wonder if that was the issue with this, where maybe they didn't want to go too tangy with it. But I feel like that's a misstep, because I feel like that really could have helped here. Because it's nice, it's sweet, it's fruity. I like the blackberry flavor. I wouldn't say I'm really getting any raspberry, but I do like what it's doing overall. But I wish that I had just a little extra tanginess to go over there and have some nice contrast, against the sweetness and the fruitiness to kind of cut through. I feel like that would really have elevated this to that like upper tier that I really like, that I kind of, consider like Pitch Black and Mountain Dew Legend to be in. So I'm a little bit on this one. All right, well, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes and yes. Caveats. So I would get this again if for no other reason than I appreciate the fact that this is pretty much the only way that I can get something similar to Mountain Dew Legend, just in like a case or at a store or something like that, Because as much as I enjoy going to Buffalo Wild Wings every now and again, it's like, I don't hit it up all that often, maybe a couple times a month. So if this will kind of tide me over, sure. Excuse me. And it's definitely similar enough that it works, but at the same time, it does leave me wanting, And like, I'm definitely going to try, maybe later this week, maybe I'll go over there and I'll try to get in a comparison review. Because, like, I do like it. I like the blackberry flavor. I just wish there was a little bit more tanginess to it to kind of give it a little extra balance. But it's nice. Like, even Mountain Dew Legend aside, I think it's a nice flavor. But I don't think it's quite up there with, again, those like upper tiers. But I do like it. I think it has a nice personality to it, which some Mountain Dews don't. So, and if I'm recommending it, like, yeah, I'm going to recommend it. I don't know if I like it more or less than the Mystic Punch, because it's been a little while since I reviewed the Mystic Punch. But as far as a purple Mountain Dew goes, although actually there's like Purple Thunder Mountain Dew or something like that. That's really good too. I mean, I do like this one, and I'd say especially if you haven't tried the Mountain Dew Legend, this might actually be an advantage for you, because like I look at it and my tastes and my thought processes, this feels like a less good Mountain Dew Legend. But if you've never experienced that, if you haven't had that opportunity or what have you, then you can go into it just, fresh and free and, see what you think of it. But I do think, again, overall, like, there's nothing to dislike about it. It's a nice fruity Mountain Dew with, again, I think a nice personality to it. So I would recommend it, especially since I'm sure it'll be a limited time option. Now, if they ever just want to put out Mountain Dew Legend proper, I would be all for that. I'm just saying. But 5 things before you get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of the year. Folks, go over there. We a truly Mountain Dew Legend-tastic rest of your life. Oh, by the way, what with this being a Mountain Dew review, it's going to end up on my Mountain Dew Madness playlist, which is a playlist for just Mountain Dew stuff. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, have you tried Mountain Dew Legend? Is it something that you're interested in? And again, especially if you've tried this, I would love to hear your thoughts. Because, again, I'm just going off of memory, at least right now. Definitely want to get into a comparison review now that I think about it. Am I completely off base on this one, or am I pretty much, dead on the nail? I don't know. So let me know. And are there any discontinued flavors or anything like that you'd like to see return, or exclusive flavors that you'd like to see be broadcast out into the public? I don't know. But anyway, bye.